Inu Open interest is rising fast, but the futures data is not simply bullish. The reason it matters is new leverage is arriving, while futures taker sell volume dominates, creating a crowded and unstable setup. The verified setup is SHIB open interest rose 13.45% in 24 hours to $69.79 million, tied to an 11 trillion SHIB bet. That shifts attention away from headline leverage and toward short crowding. The anchor number is $69.79 MOI, while 13.45% jump shows the scale already visible. That keeps the opening question tight. Can SHIB move past SMA hold without the story outrunning its evidence? A viewer who only sees headline leverage misses why 0.0000589 and 69% sells define the risk range. The baseline is already specific. Price gained nearly 3% near 0.0000006231, while spot volume and futures volume both surged sharply. That gives the story a measurable anchor. It also keeps the focus on what has actually changed, rather than assuming the outcome from the headline alone. The scale marker is $69.79 MOI. The surrounding detail, 13.45% jump, shows why this is more than a loose talking point. That baseline also explains why 69% sells belongs in the setup rather than the conclusion. Most people arrive after the move is obvious and the easy upside is gone. We focus on serious crypto education and high-quality signals before the crowd rushes in, so you can understand the setup earlier and move sooner. If you want that edge, visit the link below now. The mechanism behind the move is open interest shows positions are being added, not whether they are right. When leverage builds, liquidations can amplify the next move. That matters because mechanisms reveal where the stress enters the system. In this case, short crowding is the channel that connects the headline to the practical risk. If that channel weakens, the reaction can fade. If it strengthens, SHIB has a clearer reason to remain in focus. The mechanism ties $69.79 MOI to 0.0000589, so the next reaction is not random. The scope is not unlimited. Spot taker buy volume showed a mild bullish bias, but futures taker sell volume near 69% points to aggressive short positioning. The affected side is Shiba Inu, and the visible clue is 13.45% jump. That is where the story becomes useful for people tracking risk instead of reacting to noise. The consequence should be measured through 69% sells as well, because that is where the current uncertainty can show up. Futures also matters here, because it shapes the route from short crowding to actual decisions. The unresolved part is the data does not prove sustained upside. It shows a derivatives battle around support and short exposure. That does not erase the confirmed facts. It simply means the next claim needs evidence, and the best evidence would be SMA hold. The story should stay in that lane. If the evidence does not arrive, the strongest conclusion remains limited. The proof has to appear in SMA hold, not just in repeated claims about SHIB. Most people arrive after the move is obvious and the easy upside is gone. We focus on serious crypto education and high-quality signals before the crowd rushes in, so you can understand the setup earlier and move sooner. If you want that edge, visit the link below now. For Shiba Inu Open, the next signal is whether SHIB holds the 50-day moving average near 0.0000589 and whether shorts are forced to cover. That is the signal that can separate a temporary reaction from a durable shift. The closing read is simple. Short crowding has to prove itself. Viewers should compare the next signal with 0.0000589 and 69% sells before treating the story as resolved. That is why the final read stays tied to 0.0000589, $69% sells, and SMA hold.